Hey class, here's the video for our math lesson on May 14th. And what we'll be doing today is learning a little bit more about graphs and charts, and specifically we're going to take picture graphs and we're going to take bar graphs, and we're going to kind of use them together to display the same data. So today we're going to be doing pages 709 through 711 together, and then you'll do 713 and 714 on your own. So get your book, get your pencil, and let's get started. Okay, relating bar graphs to scaled picture graphs. Example 1. Ishi counted the number of type of fish in her fish tank. The scaled picture graph displays the data. Write a few sentences that interpret the data, then answer the questions. So let's look at this graph. It says Ishi's fish, jewelfish, tetra, catfish, and loach. And I see that one fish picture equals 2 fish. So don't forget that we need to skip count by 2s. So it says there are blank jewelfish. There are 2, 4, 6, 8 jewelfish. The number of catfish is 2. Ishi has how many tetras? Well, there's one full fish icon and half of a fish, so that would be 2 plus 1, or 3 tetras, and 4 loaches. So altogether, how many fish does Ishi have? Let's see. This is 6. This is 11. 6 plus 11 is 17 fish. What kind of fish does Ishi have the fewest of? Look at our graph. He has the fewest of catfish. Ishi has twice as many what as loaches? Well, loaches is 4, so we're looking for something that's 4 times 2, or 8. He has twice as many jewelfish as loaches. Okay. Are there more or less jewelfish than catfish, tetras, and loaches combined? So we're comparing jewelfish with catfish plus tetra plus loach. So let's see what that adds up to. We know that for the jewelfish that there are 8 of them. Jewelfish, there's 8. Catfish, there is 2. Tetras, there is 3. And loaches, there is 4. So notice how this isn't anything specific. I'm just doing my work here on the page. 2 plus 3 is 5. 5 plus 4 is 9. Yes, there are, we gotta write a sentence. There are, there are less jewelfish than catfish, tetras, and loaches combined. And then we're going to say 9 is greater than 8, because 9 is the total number of catfish, tetra, and loach, and 8 is the number of jewelfish. Now, I am not sure what fish this is. If anybody finds out, let me know. All right, that's not too bad. We just took a look at this scaled picture graph and we answered some questions. Let's turn the page to example 2. Does the data change when it is displayed in a scaled picture graph to when it is displayed in a bar graph? That's a good question. Do you think that the data, the information itself, do you think that's going to be different based on what graph we put it in? I'm guessing not. I'm guessing it's going to be the same data, but it's probably just going to look different. So they want us to use the data from the scaled picture graph to complete the bar graph. Okay, we can do this. We made bar graphs yesterday. First of all, we need a title. Same title as the bar graph. Ishi's fish. Beautiful. And they've already given us our scale. It looks like we're skip counting by 2s, and they've labeled all types of fish for us. So remember, how many jewel fish were there? There were 8. So make your bar touch the 8 exactly. How many tetras? 3 tetras, so go halfway between 2 and 4. Catfish, there were 2. And loaches, there were 4. Oop, that's a little bit of a sloppy line, so I'm gonna fix it. There we go. If you make a little mistake, it's okay. Not a big deal. Okay, there we go. Here's our picture graph, and here's our bar graph. The scaled picture graph represents data with pictures, right? It says it here in the title of the graph. The bar graph represents data with bars. Each scaled picture graph symbol stands for how many fish? It stands for 2 fish. Each bar graph scale interval stands for how many fish? So between here to here is how many fish? It's 2 fish. So the data does not change when it's displayed in a bar graph, just like we predicted. Fabulous. Okay, now we're down to guided practice. Number 1. Complete the bar graph using the data from the scaled picture graph. Okay, same thing. We have our picture graph just like we did here. We're gonna create a bar graph. I see that we are missing our label for the scale. I see that the title says stars on homework, and we've got the students' names here. What are we gonna label? What are we counting? We're counting number of stars, right? Yeah, stars on homework. So that's our label. Okay, take a look at our key for our scaled picture graph. It says that 1 star is equal to 5 stars. Okay, so we're skip counting by 5s. Zoe got 5 10 stars. Lila got just 5, and John got 5, 10, 15, 20. Now let's make this a bar graph. How many did Zoe get? 10. So make a mark here on 10. Draw your lines, and what you can do here is if it's easier for you to tilt your book, go ahead and do it. Lila had 5, and John had 20. All right, your bar graph should look something like this. So friends, we're gonna do page 711 together as well, but I'm gonna let you try this on your own. I'm gonna go through and solve all these problems, write the answers, and then we will check it together. So work on that now, then we'll come back and check. Okay, friends, let's review this page together. So for number 2, it said use data from the first graph to display in the second graph. Write 1 sentence about the data. So in number 2, they gave us a scaled picture graph about camping trips, and we needed to make a bar graph. And they gave us the title, they gave us the labels, we just had to create it. So notice that the scale was 2, just like it was here. So I see that Lucy and Eli both have gone on 4 camping trips, but Colin has gone on 6. So that was the sentence I wrote. Colin has camped the most. Notice how my bars are nice and straight. That one looks good. Let's move down to number 3. Same thing, they gave us this time a bar graph, and we needed to make a scaled picture graph. So I see that favorite movie types is the title. We've got our number. I see here their scale was 3, they counted up by 3, and here they also want us to skip count by 3. And they have their movie types. They've given us the movie types. So I chose to make a circle for my symbol, for my little picture here. 1 circle equals 3 movies. In the same way, this scale was counting up by 3. So comedy was 9, so I did 3, 6, 9, drew 3 circles. Drama was 3, so I just drew 1 circle. Cartoon was 15, so I drew 3, 6, 9, 12, 15. I drew 5 circles. And my sentence here was, more people prefer cartoons than comedy and drama combined. Because even if we added drama plus comedy, even if we added 9 plus 3, it would still be less than 15, which is cartoon. And down here for number 4, it says complete the tally chart that may have been used to create the scaled picture graph. So they gave us a picture graph. They wanted us to complete the tally chart. And it was a little tricky because they didn't tell us anything. But we know that it has to have a title. So favorite season, that was the title of our chart. And there are 4 seasons, 1, 2, 3, 4, but they gave us 5 spaces. That's because they wanted us to label spring, summer, fall, and winter. They wanted us to label our season in this column. And then here is where we drew our tally marks. So they're labeling this column as tally. I see that one sunshine here represents 5 votes. So spring had 5, 10, 15 votes, so I did 5, 10, 15 tallies. Same thing with summer. Summer had 5, 10, 15, 20, so 5, 10, 15, 20. Fall had 10, so I drew 5, 10, and winter had just 5, so 5 tally marks here. Friends, thanks for your hard work today. You're going to do pages 713, 714 on your own. Looks like for number 1, you're going to create a bar graph based off of this scaled picture graph. In number 2, you're going to do the opposite. You're going to create a scaled picture graph based off of the bar graph. Number 3 and 4, it looks like you're just reading this graph. And then number 5 is a test practice question. Keep up your hard work, guys. We just have one more day after this. So work hard and let me know if you have questions. Go Dolphins.